and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope in Nigeria. Amidst all the issues that is happening everywhere, there is hope in Nigeria. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone. Today, we have come to discuss major trends in Nigeria, what is happening. The mixed reactions that is actually happening now as Bola Tinubu himself has in one part increased the conventional name of electricity in Nigeria, NEPA bill, to 200%, while signing the loan, the student loan bill into law. That is part of the things that we are going to discuss today, amidst many other things that are happening in Plateau State, as the governor has enacted a law that seems very, very impossible to keep in the name of an executive order. And again, we have doctors going on strike in Ondo State. We have lots of things that we want to bring at this very hour. So stay with us. And I'm not the only one to talk about this. I have Divine Dons in the studio.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on today's episode. Let us have this conversation.
Yes, as you are joining us on this conversation, please like and share as we have started, so that we can actually get it all done. And we will not fail to mention the fact that His Excellency Peter Obi also went to join Muslims in Oka to break a fast, and as he continued going around the country, this will also be coming on. But let's get straight to the reactions of people in Nigeria on these two things: the hike in the NEPA bill and also the signing into law of that very particular bill. Divine, let's get this thing started, because I know that several students has been waiting on this very bill, but now that we are seeing a hike in the NEPA bill across about 200%, meaning that for people who pay like the kilowatts on 66 naira will be going for like more than 200 naira. Is that not correct?
Yeah, that is actually what is going on, and it has raised a lot of concerns, and Nigerians are actually reacting to it on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, because they are actually talking about the fact that this is an over 200% increase, meaning if you used to pay electricity bill for 50,000 naira a month, it's going to skyrocket, and you're going to be paying about triple of that amount, over 180,000 naira, and this new tariff hike is going to take hold from next week. But it is important to note that the people who are affected in this new hike in the current electricity tariff rates are the band A users. The band A users are actually, more just to explain it in layman terms, these are the people who have access to lights for over 20 hours a day, right? So these are the people, and they are like 17% of the total number of people who use electricity in the country. And that this slash did not just come. He said they had over 800 band A users, right, meter boxes from band A users, and it was slashed to 500. So not only will some people be losing their band A meters in the fact that they will not be receiving light at least 20 hours per day, they are also going to be paying over 200% increase in these tariff rates, and it's just very interesting to see. Then concerning the student loan, right?
Before we even get to the student loan, because that we have interesting things. If we look at this, the ordinary people, the ordinary Nigerians that don't even have light and being charged for light, we know how it works in Nigeria. They just come for most people doesn't have these very recharge cards. You understand me, especially in the rural area, the prepaid meter. Yeah. So what happens is, now, if they, even for those people who have the prepaid meter, they are now going to be charged more. But they are saying something like, is A-rated people? Is it this increase? Is it specially for the elite? I mean, for big organizations, or is it across board to all Nigerians?
Well, basically the whole band A, band B meters and all of that areas, when you're actually getting to get a new apartment, there are places, the places that fall under the band A, group in this electricity issues, those are the people who get lights for at least 20 hours a day. So I don't really think it's about location and all of that. There are people whose lights are actually connected towards the band A area. So they are the ones that are currently affected by these high tariff rates. So basically, the people who are not on the band B and band C and all of that, they don't really have to bother. The band A and band B really just answers to the level of frequency when it comes to lights.
I think this issue of band A and band B is actually confusing because what they charge somebody in the same area, if you are in Abuja, the same place that you go and buy recharge your card is the same place that most people in that area will go and recharge their cards. So saying that people who has 24 hours of light, and where in Nigeria do you have a 20 hours of light?
Well, it's very, they said it accounts for just 17%, right? It is very rare, but there are a couple areas whose light power supply is higher than the others. It may not necessarily be up to this 20% or 20 hours a day that they are telling us, but the point is that those areas have more lights than the others. And so if you belong to that frequency, the band A frequency, who gets more lights than the others, your the price of a unit of electricity is going to be increasing very soon, according to what the National Electricity Regulatory Commission is saying.
Yes, so for you that are watching out there, this simply, all this grammar way they hear so means say the money where you go pay for your NEPA bill don't increase well. Now the sum will be this one. It don't increase to like 200%, means say now times 2, I been at times 3 myself, now in the team B. So if you get fridge for your house, make you know how you go there regulate them, and then talk saying like next week, now that one will begin to happen. And why this one they happen? Now Tinubu can't go sign the waiting then they call the student loan bill. But that one a good thing now happen. Right. You understand? So tell me more about this, because I know we have been discussing about it. They passed through the first thing that they brought in, we rejected it and we hit back that this is not a good omen for Nigerian use. That one they are telling you your parents must go and get guarantors, they must not owe money anywhere. Where in Nigeria most people are owing, you understand, and the society is not about owing money and repaying back. So now, but now they have gone to restructure it to make it work, and hurriedly Chief Bola Tinubu signed it in the law. So it's a good thing. Let also people understand that it is not always that we come out to bombard the government. We do that when they are not doing the right thing. Yesterday, he went very late to that inauguration of Senegalese president. We said it is a wrong thing. Several things gone wrong, we say it's wrong. This very one of NEPA, we are saying is wrong because it's a complete removal of subsidy on that very part, if one exists in the first place, because all of them is scam. But all the same, this very particular one about student loan, we welcome it. But there is reservations I have, which I'm going to share with you all and Divine to break this all down. Recall that Chief Bola Tinubu had earlier on about 90 billion was attributed to him, have approved for Hajj or religious pilgrimage. Yes. Because it might not just be for the Hajj, it might also mean for the Christians too. Right. But that is about 90. Then we see renovation of yachts. That presidential yacht they were talking about that was already in Nigeria, so there was no discussion about that. That one is also about 50 billion. But this very particular loan now is 5 billion, the least. So who is actually deceiving who? I'm not saying it's a wrong move or it's a wrong thing to have done. We still get a good part of it, but I want to address why is this very loan at 5 billion while we have the expenditure that is meaningless to the people, to the elites who are flying international flights for about 90 billion.
Well, it is very interesting to see. Well, I actually saw a report today that said that the federal government was removing the subsidy that was placed on electricity, and I was like, was there actually a subsidy in the first place? And the reason they cited was that they were trying to actually manage public funds, and so they could not afford to actually keep paying for the subsidy. Hence the increase in the tariff rates for electricity. And it's just funny because we've raised points about seeing different billions that are allocated to, after all, we're still on the conversation of the you know, alleged budget padding of 3.7 trillion naira, and then we're talking that we're unable to actually sustain the subsidy that we've been paying for very laughable, because electricity rate has always been high. We don't get the value of our money, because after all that payments, you don't get to see the light. But the point is, for the conversation about wanting to reduce government expenditure, they are not very, you know, they don't sound like they're really serious about it. They don't sound like they're actually planning to implement it. The other day we heard that FCT got an allocation of 1.1 trillion for their 2024 statutory budget. We heard of the 15 billion that Barrister Nation Wike of the FCT was actually using to build a new, or rather renovate, the vice president's house, right? And so, like you rightly said, 5 billion that they you know, brought out for the student loan is actually a very good thing. But like I said, it's more about the accessibility to it, because yes, they've passed it to law. Or watching the next couple of weeks to see how much accessible it is to Nigerian students.
Yeah, and another thing again we have to take into consideration is why I talk about 5 billion as a figure is how many students will this actually accommodate to start with. You understand? Right. Considering the fact that we probably have